We become what we think about. Scene setting tone. Let me tell you a story. A young man sits alone in a small room in Chicago. The year is 1956. The room is cold, barely furnished, and in the corner stands an old wooden desk with a single sheet of paper on it. On that paper, 7 words are written in bold letters. We become what we think about. This man, Earl Nightingale, was about to change the world with those words. He didn't have much, no big house, no fancy degree, no guarantee of success. But he had an idea. He believed that the thoughts we hold in our minds shape our lives. And he proved it, not just for himself, but for millions of people who would listen to his recording, The Strangest Secret. Now, pause for a moment. Think about your life right now. Everything you have, your relationships, your career, your confidence level, it all started with thoughts. Yes, what you think about most of the time, you become. Let's explore why those words are true and how they can transform your life. Part 1. The principle explained. Think of your mind as a magnet. Whatever you hold in your mind consistently, you attract into your life. If you think about fear, you'll attract situations that make you fearful. If you think about growth and opportunity, you'll attract solutions and success. This isn't magic. It's how your brain works. Your thoughts create your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your actions. Your actions create your results. So when Earl said, "We become what we think about," he wasn't speaking poetry. He was describing reality. Here's the question. What are you thinking about every day? Because that's the direction your life is heading. Part 2. The invisible power of thoughts. Imagine planting a seed in the garden. If you plant an apple seed, what grows? Apples. If you plant an orange seed, what grows? Oranges. Now imagine your mind is that garden. If you plant seeds of fear, doubt, and worry, you'll grow failure, stress, and unhappiness. But if you plant seeds of faith, courage, and possibility, you'll grow success and peace. What seeds are you planting today? Because your mind doesn't care what you plant. It just grows whatever you feed it. This is why successful people are obsessed with guarding their thoughts. They know one negative seed, left unchecked, can grow into a tree of problems. Part 3. Real story. Failure to success through thinking. Let me tell you about a young comedian who came to Hollywood with nothing but a dream. His name was Jim Carrey. Jim believed in this principle so much that he wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered. He dated it 5 years into the future. Every single day, he carried that check in his wallet. People laughed at him. He was broke, living in a van. But he kept thinking about that check. He visualized it so clearly that he started behaving like the person who deserved it. 5 years later, guess how much he was paid for his first big movie? $10 million. Exactly the amount on the check. Coincidence? Maybe. But here's what's undeniable. His thoughts shaped his actions. His actions created opportunities. And those opportunities created results. This is not just Jim Carrey's story. It can be your story too, if you learn to control your thoughts. Part 4. The science of thought. Now, let's make this practical. Your brain has something called the reticular activating system, RAS. It's a filter. Its job is to focus on what's important to you. Have you ever bought a new car and suddenly seen that same car everywhere? That's your RAS. It's programmed by your dominant thoughts. If you constantly think, I can't do this, your brain looks for evidence to prove it true. But if you think, I'm resourceful, I'll find a way, your brain goes hunting for solutions. And here's another fact. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real and vividly imagined experiences. That's why visualization is so powerful. Athletes do it. Entrepreneurs do it. You should too. Every thought you repeat rewires your brain. This is called neuroplasticity. You are literally shaping your future by what you think today. Part 5. The danger of negative thinking. But here's the problem. Negative thinking is easy. It's automatic. If you wake up and think, nothing good ever happens to me, your mind will find proof. You'll overlook opportunities. You'll miss connections. You'll create your own bad luck. This is what psychologists call a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your thoughts create expectations. Your expectations shape behavior. Your behavior creates results that confirm your original thoughts. So the person who says, I can't do it, is always right, because they never try. The person who says, I will find a way, is also right, because they keep going until they do. Part 6. How to change your thoughts. Now here's the good news. You can change it. Starting today, here are 3 steps. Awareness. Start paying attention to your thoughts. Ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Replace. When you catch a negative thought, replace it with a positive, empowering one. Example, I can't do this. I'm learning something new. Reinforce. Repeat your new thoughts daily. Speak them out loud. Write them down. Visualize them in detail. If you do this long enough, your brain rewires itself. Success becomes your default mode. And let me add this. Surround yourself with positive influences. The books you read, the people you spend time with, the videos you watch, they're all seeds. Choose wisely. Pause for audience reflection. Ask them to write one negative thought and one positive replacement thought. Part 7. Closing story and final message. Before I close, let me leave you with one final story. There was a man named Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor who endured unimaginable suffering in concentration camps. He lost his family. He lost his freedom. But he said something profound. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Even in the darkest place on earth, he understood we become what we think about. He chose to think about meaning, hope, and purpose, and it kept him alive. So, if Victor could do it in a death camp, what excuse do we have? Here's my challenge to you. Guard your mind like treasure. Speak to yourself with intention. Dream fearlessly. Because the truth is simple and life-changing. You become what you think about. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Today. So think boldly. Think beautifully. Think in a way that makes your future proud.